Grissom here.
Sir, Admiral Reynolds is on the line.
Patch her through, Lieutenant.
Hello, Sam. I hope I'm not catching you at a bad time.
Not at all, Nicole. Just doing some grading on my warp theory class. I swear these new youngsters are getting smarter by the year. I have this Andorian navigator that will be a great asset once she completes the academy. She's a lieutenant in the Imperial Guard. That is, if we can teach her to curb her temper. The energy of youth, I'll tell you. So I know the Chief of Operations didn't call to discuss the world of academics. What's on your mind?
Sam, what I'm about to tell you remains between us. Understood?
Admiral, I think you know that's not an issue.
Good. Have you any knowledge of the Gemini project?
Only scuttlebutt. Something about a new quad nacelle ship that supposedly has some very top secret and sensitive abilities. But again, that's only rumors and not substantiated.
What would you say if I told you it's all true and much more?
Intriguing, but what has that to do with an old out-to-pasture academy instructor?
If I recall correctly, Admiral Grissom, you put yourself out to pasture, not Starfleet. I want to do something about it.
Okay, let's hear the pitch.
I want to put you back in space. Simple as that. I need a starship captain that has your knowledge and your ability to take reins of the ship and give it a good thrust shakedown. You would take a temporary grade reduction to Commodore. You pick your own crew, but you will need someone that is familiar with temporal theory and a whiz at warp technology for your chief engineer.
I think I have someone in mind. If, of course, I choose to take the assignment. I do need to know a bit more about the ship. And how long do you need for an answer?
48 hours. Let me send over the specs and the mission. Consider this the higher level of security. Need to know only. Tamiro can be assigned also. It won't be easy, but we can replace the Starfleet Medical. Sam, I want you to know up front, there's going to be a few unorthodox activities. Let's just say it's on the fringe of what you're used to.
I'll keep that in mind, Admiral. You'll have my answer in 48 hours. Grissom out.
You wanted to see me, Admiral.
You don't have to be that formal, Tamiro. Please take a seat. Got a call today from Admiral Reynolds.
And she offered you an assignment in space, command possibly.
Why would you think something like that?
It was only logical. When I came in, Lieutenant Yeager told me that you had received a call from Starfleet Operations. When I saw you looking at the model of the Dominion and noted your posture, it was obvious you were debating something important, command related. Therefore, she has offered you a ship.
Okay, it's bad enough that you're a medical officer, but being a Vulcan counselor sometimes drives me to distraction. Okay, Sherlock, you have me dead to rights. So what would your advice be, if that's the case?
Whatever it was that Admiral Reynolds offered you, it has brought a sparkle to your eye. Accept it But before you take on these new responsibilities, let us continue with your plan to visit the Dominion and lay to rest these demons that you have left. I will start looking for my replacement for Starfleet Medical.
I see. And what makes you think you're going to be assigned to my new command, if that is what Admiral Reynolds offered?
I will start packing.
I've got a question for you. What's your opinion of Lieutenant Ipera?
She is a very capable officer, but she is what humans call hot-headed. I have been working with her on meditation techniques.
Thank you. That was my observation also. Now run along and get packing. Well, Nicole, you said I needed someone who was familiar with temporal theory and a whiz at warp technology. You're a maverick, Tanner, but I need your abilities. Yeager,
Yes, sir.
see if you can locate Commander Holly Tanner. You should be able to find her in the engineering section at Utopia Planitia. And Yeager, get your sea bag packed.
Sir? I mean, yes, sir, to both.
And Lieutenant, you are out of uniform.
Sir, I assure you, I checked everything this morning.
Put some hash marks on that sleeve of yours, Lieutenant Commander. You're no longer my aide, but my chief of security.
Yes, sir.
I'll brief you later. Now get me Tanner. Grissom here.
Good afternoon, Admiral. Your aide said you wish to speak to me.
That I do, Commander, that I do. I find myself in a position where I may be in need of an engineering officer of your experience and caliber.
I see. Should I take that as a compliment?
Well, somewhat. Looking over your record, I see you were chief engineer on both the Lexington and Constellation. High marks, actually, in both assignments. However, I couldn't help noting a few minor strikes in your record. A few of, let's say, not so by the book modifications and insubordination.
Yes, sir, I understand that I don't always do my work by the book. But I believe if you'll research these incidents deeper, you'll find that my persistence, or as you call it, insubordination, actually saved the lives of the crew on the Lexington from a major warp core breach. Candidly speaking, I'd do it all again in a heartbeat.
Trust me, Commander, I did investigate, which is why I want you to consider a new assignment as chief engineer on a new ship. I need someone with your tenacity and out-of-the-box thinking, not afraid to buck the system.
Sir, with all due respect, I've had my fill of working as chief engineer. I just don't find the excitement of working on a starship as I do working for Utopia Planitia. Captain Menard values my expertise, and I just enjoy working under him.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. And I'm sure you do. However,
Besides, I'm incredibly happy tinkering and puttering on anything that comes through. You get to see so much technology and meet new people. No, my star hopping days are over.
but Commander, just think of what you could be missing. Look, what if I told you this is not like any ship that you've ever served on, seen for that matter? What if I said I needed somebody that was keen on temporal theory and is highly knowledgeable and motivated in the field of advanced warp technology? You're researching those fields now.
You're beginning to pique my interest. Continue, please. But I doubt anything you can bring to the table is going to sway me.
Think of it as a lab experiment in space.
Nice try, sir. But it will have to be better than that.
Commander, I'm laying my cards on the table. The file I'm about to send you is encrypted and extremely sensitive. You have the security clearance, but I must advise you that none of this must ever get out. Are we clear on this? I will not send it to you if you have any reservations.
I understand you completely, Admiral. You have my word that no matter what is in those files will never be divulged by me, no matter of my destination.
Good. Sending now.
Admiral, you certainly do drive a hard bargain. Remind me never to play poker with you. You've got your chief engineer, and I'll start packing immediately. As you can see, I couldn't turn him down. I can't go into it, Captain, but I can assure you he has offered me a chance of a lifetime. Captain, please understand.
Don't worry. I'm just a bit taken aback. Congratulations on your new assignment. Now, do you have something to report?
Yes, Tuesday morning, everything will be in full transition and ready to go.
And all of the crews can make this a regular thing.
Every shift. Around the clock shift at your disposal.
That's a nice thing to have.
Yes, sir, it is. But if I may, why is it needed? Certainly with Starfleet. This one ship? Upgraded? But why? Why is it necessary?
Your new assignment from Admiral Grissom. You could make that same inquiry.
I'm not sure what all you mean.
I'm sure you don't. When you get your new post, please give Admiral Grissom a message for me.
All right.
Tell him I'll see him out there.
Okay. That's not creepy at all. Okay, Captain. I have all I need. It's been fun and I've loved working with you. I'll catch you out there.
Okay, Sam. I think it's time we had a bit of a chat.
Grissom here.
Sir, Lieutenant Apira Zasheen waiting to see you.
Send her in, please, Lieutenant Commander.
Reporting as ordered, sir.
Have a seat, Lieutenant.
If this was about what happened during the celebration, I can explain.
Well, that explains the antenna. No, Lieutenant, it's not. I'm sure I will be seeing the report from tomorrow soon, though. What am I going to do with you? You're one of my brightest students. If I could just get you to...
No excuse, sir. I will be working harder with Commander Tamero. She has been teaching me Vulcan meditation.
Oh, great. That's just what I need. Andorian with Vulcan logic. Ipira, what are your future plans after graduating next week?
As you know, sir, I'm just a member of the Imperial Guard. I just assumed I'd be going back to one of their vessels. I just came for advanced work corps and navigation training.
And you're also a darn good tactical officer. I've read the reports from your last assignment. What are your thoughts on serving on a Federation starship?
I haven't given it any thought. I just assumed I'd be going back to the Imperial Guard.
Now, it's not known yet, but I have been offered a command of a new class of ship. I have the opportunity to select my crew. I've been impressed with your achievements and your scholastic records. I also know enduring loyalty and devotion to duty.
Yes, Admiral. We pride ourselves in those regards.
I want you to be my navigator and tactical officer. Do you feel up to the challenge? Besides, Tamara is tagging along as my chief medical officer and counselor. She'll need another challenge besides me.
Of course, Admiral. I'd be happy to serve with you. I promise I won't give you too much problem.
Yeah, right. I'll believe that when I see it. However, welcome aboard. Take your time to get your affairs in order, and I will have Starfleet issue a formal request with the Imperial Guard. You're dismissed, and try to stay out of trouble.
Reynolds here. Admiral Grissom, do you have something for me?
Commodore Samuel T. Grissom at your service, Admiral.
You retain your rank as Rear Admiral until we depart from our new command. Just remember, this is a temporary reduction. You can be reinstated if needed at any time.
I'll keep a fresh uniform in the closet. Well, the assignment is certainly not your everyday Starship command. I can see a lot of potential for some interesting consequences, good and bad.
This is why I entrusted this to you. I need your experience and your intuition. On that note, Admiral Grissom, I would like for you to meet Commander Michael Bedford, my Chief Science Advisor and former First Officer of the U.S.S. Clarkson.
Nice to meet you, Commander.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Admiral Reynolds has spoken very highly of you.
The commander has some specialized skills that falls in line with the scope of the project. I would like to assign him as Science and First Officer.
The Clarkson. Ah, I understand now. Her mission was to study temporal anomalies.
That is correct, sir. And though we are not at liberty to completely discuss our findings publicly, I will be able to read you into mission logs once we're underway. I believe you'll find my experience helpful.
Then welcome aboard, Commander. Will you be traveling with us to Outpost 7?
I am already at the outpost awaiting orders.
Very well, Commander. Take command till I get there.
Aye, sir. Bedford out.
Nicole, that was a rotten trick. You did tell me I could pick my own crew. I had thought of asking Denson or Chamberlain if they were ready for a change. I'll forgive you this time. A small favor, though? I would like the Dominion to ferry my chief engineer, Dr. Tamara, and I to Outpost 7. I have some unfinished business to wrap up before I take command of the Harrison.
Rear Admiral Samuel T. Grissom, you are hereby ordered to report forthwith to take command of the U.S.S. Harrison Gemini Class, registered NCC 1983. She'll be waiting for you at Post 7. Congratulations, Sam.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm looking forward to this new chapter. One more thing. Don't tell Jason or Steven I'm coming. Attention all personnel. There are reports of the red spirals forming everywhere. Starfleet is on battle alert. Who would have thought this invasion, the Terran Empire, would rise up? We prepare for war. Grissom out. Communications, open up a hailing frequency to the lead Terran ship.
Opening up a communication with the ISS Odyssey.
Attention, Federation citizens. Your time for peace is over. Now, the real game